Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all? Hopefully all of you are fine. So students, it's our second lecture for the revision of chapter 8. Hopefully yesterday's lecture was fine. It was all about your preparation for the objectives, that this is how the objective paper would be. This is how you'll have questions in your objective paper. And even in your paraphrasing and stanza comprehension, you will have these type of questions. Because of the some connectivity issue, we weren't able to connect on Zoom, so the lecture was posted on GC, and hopefully there wasn't any problem. Anyways, so you have to copy those questions on your notebooks as well. Today we are going to revise the vocabulary exercises from your book. The vocabulary exercises from your book, because this is the same chapter that you're going to have in your assessments. Your English assessment is on Friday, and the timings are from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we are preparing for your English assessment that is on Friday. So let's start off with the vocabulary exercises from chapter number 8 that are already done in the class. Now, first one was alliteration. What is alliteration? That was discussed. What was it? Just recall it in your minds. Okay, give yourself time. Give yourself time that what was alliteration? So hopefully you must have recalled it. Alliteration is a term to describe a literary device in which a series of words begin with the same consonant sound. A classic example is basically the repetition of same consonant sounds is alliteration. What is consonant? The alphabets that are not vowels. So you must have heard about the tongue twisters. The best example is she sells seashells by the seashore. So the repetition of sound, consonant sound S, is the best example of alliteration. Alliteration is meant to be more than a tongue twister, though. It's used to emphasize something important that a writer or a speaker would like to express. Tongue twisters are basically for the sake of fun, but the writers or the poets use this device alliteration in their writings to emphasize something, to give importance to something that they want to express. Here is an exercise. There are a few sentences that you will read and identify alliteration in these sentences. Read through these 10 sentences to help you identify alliteration. You're gonna underline alliteration in these sentences. Becky's beagle barked and bayed, becoming bothersome for Billy. Can you keep the cat from clawing the couch? It's creating chaos. Dan's dog dug deep in the dam, drinking dirty water as he dove. Fred's friend fried fritters for Friday's food. Greedy goats gobbled up gooseberries, getting good at grabbing the goodies. Hannah's home has heat now, hopefully. Jackrabbits jump and jiggle jauntily. Kim's kid kept kicking like crazy. Larry's lizard likes longing in the sun. Mike made mellow music with his new microphone. So now in these sentences, you will identify the examples of alliteration. You have to solve this exercise on your notebook as well as the part of your revision, as a part of a phase of your revision. So hopefully alliteration is clear, because that was already discussed in the class as well. Hopefully it's clear, but still if you find anything confusing, you can ask me through the comments. I will reply to your comments. Okay, the next thing that was done, it was imagery. Imagery is a language used by poets. It's again a device that the poets used, the poets, novelists, and other writers, to create images in the minds of the reader. Imagery is basically the use of such strong words to create visual images in the minds of the readers. Imagery includes figurative and metaphorical language to improve the reader's experience through their senses. Use of, as I was saying earlier, that use of strong words, figurative language, metaphorical language, comparisons, use of comparison and strong words the poet used to creating images in the mind of the reader to make his work more impressive, more important for the reader, more interesting for the reader. That's why the poets and the writers use imageries. You must have done the exercise to find out the imagery in the poet stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. Just for the sake of practice, I have given some examples over here. The night was black as ever, but bright stars lit up the sky in beautiful and varied constellations, which were sprinkled across the astronomical landscape. In this example, the experience of the night sky is described in depth with color, black as ever, bright, shape, varied constellations, and patterns sprinkled. So the writer has used strong words. The poet has used strong words to create imagery. Just by reading the word black or listening to the word black, what comes to your mind? You can create an image. The night was black as ever. You can create an image in your mind that it was the night scene. It was the silence of the night. Everything, the darkest, and as in the poem, the darkest evening of the year. How you must have visualized it, that everywhere there would have been darkness and there would have no sound. So that's why the poet has called it the darkest evening of the year. There was no sound, there was no human being, there was complete silence with chilling cold, and it was compared as the darkest evening of the year. So this is how the poets use strong words to create images in the mind of the reader. So this was the revision of imagery. Next exercise, the vocabulary exercise, was matching the opposite words. The exercises are on page number 85. So matching the opposite words, that how to match the opposites. You had different words over there, but just for the sake of practice, I added another exercise, because in your objective paper, you will have questions related to antonyms and synonyms. What are antonyms? Antonyms are basically the words opposite in the meanings, and synonyms are the words that are similar in the meaning. So you have to match these words with their opposites. Again, this exercise is to be done on your notebooks. You have to do this exercise on your notebooks as well. Ascent, awaken, loft, mount, open, sit, smile, whisper, close, cry, descent, dismount, frown, shout, sleep, stand. So these are few words. These are very easy words. These are just day-to-day used words. So you are gonna match these words with their opposites. I hope it would be easy for you. And now the next thing is that you have to do is exercise D on page number 85. That exercise is already done. I'll just discuss the answers and the reasons why these answers are correct, why these are the correct options. We'll just discuss the answers. Okay, it's page number 85. It's page number 85, exercise D. Circle the correct options. The poem is suggestive of profound thoughts about what is profound, deep, inner, symbolic thoughts. Is it a scene of the woods in the winter, or reality of life and death, or a song of enjoyment? It's option B. It's the reality of life and death, that during the life we don't have time. The central idea of the poem that before going to the sleep, the eternal sleep, we have a number of things to be done. We have a number of tasks to be fulfilled, and death is always calling us. But the responsibilities of our life, they are forcing us to move on. Death is compared with the ultimate destination. So this is the significant meaning. Number two, the poet presents a conflict between a poet and his friend, the obligations of life and desire to escape from them, and the poet and forces of nature. It's again option B, that in the, as you have read in the last two lines, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. In the last two lines, the writer, the poet, has repeated that before going to the ultimate sleep, we have a number of obligations. But the beauty of the forest that was calling the poet to stop, it was attracting the poet to stop and enjoy. But the responsibilities of life, they were forcing him to move on. So it was a conflict between these two things. Number three, after reading the poem, we feel fed up of life, we wish to sleep for a long time, or we get ready to face the challenges of the world. It's option C, that the enthusiasm of the poet makes us ready to face the challenges of the life. That we have a number of tasks to be fulfilled before the eternal sleep. Number four, the poem conveys to us only a surface meaning, a profound thought, or no meaning at all. Of course, it provides us, or it conveys us, a profound thought. Last one, dark woods symbolize darkness spread around the poet, death and departure to another world, darkness in the mind of the poet. As the poem is giving us a profound thought. So, darkness is compared with death, that the departure from this world to an other world. So, these are the things, these are some vocabulary exercises of your chapter 8. We are done with the revision of these exercises, and in our next lecture we will revise the grammar exercises of the same chapter before our assessment on Friday. Hopefully everything is clear, and there is no issue, or there is no confusion. But still, if you find anything confusing, beta, you can ask me through the comments. I will surely reply to your comments. So this is all for today, and take care of yourselves, and Allah Hafiz.